Hello guys, welcome to my channel, The Collector, and for today's video, I'm gonna review the Marvel Legends Kingo. He is part of the Build-A-Figure Gilgamesh wave, and he has Gilgamesh left arm. So let's take a closer look on the packaging. At the side, there's the portrait of Kingo, played by Kumail Nanjiani, and at the back there's the short description of Kingo. You can pause it, and at the side there's the same portrait, and at the top of the box there's the Eternals logo. So without further ado, let's proceed. Here is Kingo out of the packaging, and he was number 5 on the Build-A-Figure Gilgamesh wave. And just to give a brief background about the character, he is an Eternal, and he has the power to project cosmic energies from his hands. I had some problem with this figure, especially on the paint apps and the articulation part, but also I like about this one is the head sculpt, which I will be focusing later on. So without further ado, let's proceed. Let's take a closer look at Kingo. First, let's move on with the head sculpt. Let's focus on the head sculpt first. As you can see, they really did a great job on capturing the likeness to Kumail Nanjiani. They also captured the smirking expression of Kumail. That's a pretty good job. Let's see. There's also a sculpting on his hair. Now moving on to the suit, you can look closely on the unique design on his chest. As you can see, they also painted the the rune-like design on the figure. Same as the other Eternals figure, there's a lot of panel lines on this figure, but 90% of them are not painted. As you can see, if you look closely, they painted it, but they didn't manage to paint it all, to finish the paint for this loincloth. I really like the design for Kingo suit. I like the color scheme, but also I find it that there's an inaccuracy when it comes to the movie, comparing to the movie. As you can see, I think there should be a separate shoulder pads on this one, and it should be painted with silver, but I think these figures are only based on the early concept art, so there are a lot of changes when it comes to with the actual design for the movie. So maybe that's why there are some inaccuracies compared to the SH figure arts, which came later after they released the movie. And I also like to point out that this figure has a hard time standing. I think it's because of this hard soft plastic that they're using, similar with the other MCU figures like the Loki, the variant Loki, that is hindered with his jacket. Also the Eternals Pastos and the Eternals Druid has this kind of problem. You just need to find the right balance so that this figure can stand. So far the stock that I got doesn't have any noticeable QC issues when it comes to paints. So see, there's also at first I thought they're just painted with the metallic purple, but I think they managed to have a gradient of black purple gradient on this boot part. That's very good. If you can just if you can just use a Gundam marker on this figure, I think this figure will be much better. For the accessories, Kingo came with the Gilgamesh left arm, which I won't be showing, and he came with two pairs of hands, a pair of closed fists as you can see on the figure, and a pair of shooting hands with the cosmic energy that is glued to the finger, so you can't remove it. For Kingo's articulation, his head can rotate 360 degrees and can tilt that far. He can look up that far. He can look down that far. His arms can reach to that point. Can rotate 360 degrees. He has a bicep swivel, and he has a double jointed elbow with the pinless deck. He has an wrist articulation that can rotate 360 degrees and then can move up and down. He has the upper torso articulation. He can rotate 360 degrees. He can look up that far, and he can look down that far. He doesn't have any hip articulation. If there's any articulation, I can't show it because it was hindered by this soft plastic. He can do a split that far. He can kick up that far. At least for this figure, he can kick up. Unlike Pastos, he can kick back that far. He has a I got a loose tie swivel here. Okay, that's fixed. He has a double jointed knees with a pinless deck, and he has the ankle pivot that can also move up that far and down that far. Kingo is standing around 6.5 inches tall. Here is Kingo side by side with his fellow Eternals, Icaris. Here is Kingo side by side with the Marvel Legends Thunderstrike. Here is Kingo side by side with the Mesco 112 Collective, Hellboy. Here is Kingo side by side with the Marvel Select Disney exclusive Captain America, Sam Wilson. Here is Kingo with the Figure Rise Gogeta. And finally, here is Kingo with the DC McFarlane Multiverse Joker from the Arkham Asylum video game. To conclude this video, I think Kingo could have been better if Hasbro just used the same design for the Icarus figure. The loincloth really did hindered a lot of articulation since Kingo is a fighter. He should be more articulated, unlike Fastos and Druig, whose main powers are their mind. I think this one should have a lot of articulation. I hope they just made a similar design to the with the SH Figuarts Kingo, as you can see on the image. Also, I would like to point out on what they did with the head sculpt. I'm really glad they put some expression to his face. It really matched Kingo's personality based on what I've seen on the trailers and TV spots. Unfortunately, I haven't watched the Eternals movie since I'm here in the Philippines, so I needed to wait until December to see it. So if you're a completionist, of course you need to buy this one to complete your Eternals wave. But I think this figure is a decent figure. If you can just cut some parts on his loincloth so that you can improve his mobility, I think anyone can do it, and it will greatly improve the figure. Also, as I've said on my previous Eternals review, I think you just need to buy a Gundam marker. It will be very useful for all the Eternals figures. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe and have a good day.